InShalla and Ashe. We are live. Blessings to you, and thanks for always showing up and joining my show, my snippet on the daily. I'm sure this will change in the future, but for today, it seems to be working out. I changed my light. I don't know if you can tell in the background. I dimmed it down a little, so I'm learning all these little techie skills. But welcome. I am Tonya D, holistic Sha'Medium and subtle energy surgeon. When I say subtle energy surgeon, it's like, I kind of feel like it's like psychic surgery, but differently. I kind of get shown different spaces in the body or timelines even. So it's kind of this unique, funny gift I have. But as we start the journey into this sturgeon moon, is anybody having any insights from the first full moon in Leo versus this upcoming one? My heart, Leo, was actually in a state of grief, my heart space. I had 2 people in my village actually cross the Rainbow Bridge in July. One on the 1st of July and the other one like right in the middle of the month. So I literally was worried that I was going to have a third because everything comes in thirds. So it was literally like the door closed. And with this upcoming full moon, the galaxy is truly opening up to all of the new and the newer, the futuristic venues. So it's really a great day to hold time and space for that. My Musing Moon meditation is probably, I won't say it's next level, but yet it's next level. It was probably one of my favorite moon meditations I've done so far since I started doing them. And also gratitude for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I hear the echo there, and I am so thankful for that as well. And also, where am I going now? So I received a message from the other realms. This always happens at random. I'm not going to lie, I get random insights. So I'm thinking or musing about doing a private show. I don't know how many weeks this will go on. It'll be like the cosmic round table, if you will, or the galactic round. I'm really not sure how this is going to play out just yet. However, if you would like to be a part of it, please just let me know. I'm going to create a private join me kind of link as well. So you can utilize that when that door opens up in that corridor. So with all of that, today's energy, which I'm super stoked about, and notice my fabulous mug. It's all about the moon. Thank you, Deb Clay. That was actually yesterday's cold coffee, but like that matters, right? So today's energy is still in the joy molecules, the energy of the joy bubbling. So moving into a creative reality truly based on our heart center. So it's like the final day of recalibrating the direction of your heart towards this elevated life of both, not just love, but also joy. So it's this merging. But you can see, like the elemental realm, we have this yang metal Geng Daymaster with the rat on the day branch. And it looks like this ping pong of metal there. We have metal on the day, then we have metal on the branch with the monkey, and then metal again on the year. So, you have to ask yourself, what supports the metal? It's actually it's earth. So looking at this, I would say the ancestors actually supported the family, the lineage. If this was a person, that's where the wealth would come from. Not so much the creation of it, but inherited wealth, which is not overwhelming wealth actually, to where the person actually becomes lazy, because there is that kind of wealth that we see where people don't create anything because they have ancestral income, money. But just know what I've witnessed several times is people who inherit that kind of money over time and space. Not always, but like the 3rd generation down from the ones who created the wealth, they lose the money because they don't value it. They just think it's always going to be there. That's kind of the laziness of that. But this particular wealth here is more of a grateful wealth where it's used wisely. So this Daymaster metal will create its own performance, which is actually water on the branch there, right below. And the water on the branch is also the relationship to the person, their mate. So this person could actually suffer from depression with all of that metal, where their mate offers them some gentle guidance, some gentleness, just being gentle in general. They might be a little scratchy though, because there's really not a lot of water other than the hidden water in the stems. So it is actually, we've got a lot of water. We have metal, a little bit of fire. I really won't look at the hour where that wood is. So if you have trouble getting into a state of meditation, that's actually why I created Soliciting Solitude. But meditation will actually help with the depression and the sadness. I created Soliciting Solitude. It's an offshoot of the Balance of Being. It's really amazingly affordable because I keep adding more meditations to it as time and space becomes more fluid and goes in. But I have beginner steps to actually start people on the meditation journey. And then you can move it further. Metal itself is this yin energy. So this person has more of a yang metal energy than the yin. Yin is inward, yang is outward. So this is like unrefined. Their voice might appear harsh in a way, maybe a little strict, a little scratchy. And the reason I brought up Soliciting Solitude, it's more of the breath work than the meditation aspect for a metal person. So I just kind of felt called to throw that out there for the breathing of it, to like breathe in for the meditations. And honestly, my courses are designed for what ails you at any certain time. Even food, like I talk about food in one of them. So if you're just waking up and not sure how all these energetic centers align, or, I have a variety in my virtual library. But this person, like if this was a chart and we're actually doing it for the day, I would ground into the energy or the element of earth, bring that nurturing energy of the soil, the mama soil, into your beingness. You could go dig in the dirt, walk in the dirt, not necessarily the grass, go barefooted. Bring in your third eye. Also, you can just envision yourself as well, like with your feet on the earth. Just close your eyes and utilize your third eye in that container where you can feel it, taste it, smell it, kind of a thing. Use your senses. That actually works really well. It's raining here still, kind of drizzly. So I could actually go out and do a rain dance out in the dirt. Blessed be. That might sound actually kind of fun. So now it's actually time for the cosmic energy, which I'm kind of excited about. I got a little more creative. Look at that. I'm not sure you can see it real well. But the cosmic energy, so it's time for our heart's reality to actually come online. So how energy works, or how I see it, or my container, I guess I should say. So for reality to come in, it has to come in from the heavenly realm and literally shoot all the way down, not just to our root center, but out into the earth plane. And somewhere along the journey, we get stopped. We might have a stronghold, a block, something's happening, right? That gets us off filter. So for our heart in the reality to come online, both in creation and also into manifestation, into the physical or solid form, it's actually, it's this sensitive and also delicate kind of energy. So imagine if you were to knock over a glass vase of a friend's or an ancestor's, like you're at somebody's house and you knock over this glass vase. So the feeling you get when you accidentally do something and it shatters, right? Well, that's kind of the sort of feeling without the accident part. So if you felt kind of vulnerable or fragile, are you watching things fall apart? It's kind of a narrative, right? But today it's actually the opposite. It's just that things are falling together. So it's a feeling, it's a frequency, and it's hard for us to actually imagine because we get way off guard in the old soul familiar, we get caught. So it's the tragedy of our story, it's the narrative. But we are actually in this upcycling of stages of our love story. So this feeling is it's the coming together. It's the nurturing of our heart space. And also our inner self, our prime directive. So all of our intentions should be more elevated in our love story, our personal love story, and bubbling out into those joy molecules. And, all the creation coming into like a form of solidity. So my mug, it's a form of solidity. Even though it's a mug, it still brings me some love and some joy, right? Just something like that. It could be so simple as that. So ultimately, what is your job? On a day like today, it's simply to maintain the emotional tonality, the frequency, the note or the tone of your personal joy molecules, and really expect it actually into the future. So focus, and actually I talk about how to focus in the Energy Body Demystified. I have an entire stage just on this one element of focusing. So again, focus on visualizing your ideas, your plans, your intentions, your goals. Just pick one, maximum three, to be honest. While also, I want you to feel into the future that you actually want to live in the now, in the present moment, and sit in that frequency. And I'm actually going to go myself. I'm going to go work on a creative visualization board, sit at my altar. It's all part of the prepping for this actual full moon, and kind of categorize or map out my little pieces in my puzzle, in my play, my life story, my personal love journey, right? So you want to hold the vision, be in that loving feeling in your chalice, like pour more love into that chalice for the goal that you actually intend to manifest. And you want to hold that frequency for as long as possible. And you can do this more than once during the day. It's not like a one and done. You kind of have to refrequent the frequency and get those joy molecules bubbling up. And we also have a few other things to actually focus on as well. There's other voices in our cosmic round, right? So it's like amplifying a sound system, the love vibration, by focusing on love. Then we want to protect and shelter those feelings and those sensations. So for me, that's literally holding space in a container for both. It's like my own magical sphere, where I have these conversations with different aspects of my soul self and my spirit self, my mind, my body, and sit in that container. So it's the combined feeling of love itself and the protection is what's necessary to manifest your intention. So the next part is probably the most challenging part. It's in the last hours of creation that we sometimes think about actually giving up. And I've had this happen, my story is like the rug's getting pulled out from under me and I keep on keeping on. It's kind of like the elf on the shelf. So you might actually feel tired, worn out, or become impatient with the process. But that's where the engagement happens. It's staying engaged. And realize that these are always the last moments of creating change, transformation, and really upcycling. So what's happening is you're on the brink of success, which is, we sometimes, like even myself, sometimes we sabotage ourselves because of an old feeling, old baggage, that dark age narrative, the dark age story. But we're coming out from that. And what's happening is we're not familiar with the juiciness, the goodness, right? So we get this rug pulled out from underneath us. So this feeling, it challenges our realization that actually we're on the way to the new and the newer, the brighter and the goodness. So, what isn't a good idea is really don't share your intentions, your goals, your plans with other people today, because everybody is truly feeling not only challenged, but also tested. It's kind of like that Triamore card that I pulled yesterday. It's a test. And other people might become projectors or project their narrative onto you, their fears, their blame, their shame, the cosmic clutter of all that crap. And this will actually weaken your foundation. So commit to a future feeling, hold the tone for love and the joy that you will attract actually into the future. And energy, like what you've put out, actually, it always comes back. So it's always this free and this flow. So for me, it's like staying in a state of kindness sometimes. And again, I always have my virtues, peace, joy, happiness. I threw in love, which, no wonder I don't have love. That wasn't in my container. as far as a relationship of love. But we all have that idea as well. One way actually to do this is to authentically count your blessings. I literally have a blessing bowl. It kind of came from my mom. It has this little blessing things like I can write on. But as you count your blessings, when you do that, it multiplies the speed of light, the energy into your intentions. Is honestly just by counting those blessings, and be mindful of all of those aspects of your life that you're authentically, truly, actually grateful for. And observe yourself in your observation station. What you want to look at is where you're already abundantly supported by the universe. And just by adding up all your wins and your successes, you actually will lean in to the probability of actually another one. And we're actually on our way to this abundance of joy in those molecules. So what's happening also is we're holding emotional space in order to manifest our heart's desires. So since the law of attraction is, it's the energy of the universe, it is like the upcycled energy. Authentically, what you're being is what is coming, like out of you and also into you. So ultimately, what are you being? So today of all the days, and actually early into tomorrow morning, earlier, be the happily married person. Be the successful business owner. Just simply be abundant. That's all the ways, do this in all the ways, or at least, recognize the top tier or the bottom tier, actually, for that matter, as we build on this full moon. Amethyst is actually a great stone to bring in. And honestly, who doesn't have an amethyst? I have them everywhere. My biggest one is actually on my nightstand next to my bed. It really doesn't matter the size either. I literally have this little dude. He's just a little guy. But just know they're all connected, right? They're all energetically connected. So it's this stone of spiritual perfection and protection. It cleanses our energetic field of all the negative influences or attachments. It creates a resonance shield kind of spiritual light around our energy body and our body itself, the physical. It also acts as like a barrier against lower energetics, psychic attack, stress of the environment, or even an unhealthy environment. That comes in many forms. Generally, it's unhealthy with the EMFs. It could be unhealthy because the people are negative, stuff like that. So we really want to clean out the cobwebs in the closet and shed, or the garage for that matter. I've been doing all of those. Our sacral center is online today. So yay for the emotional center, or the center of emotions. It's orange. It's any shade from peach to salmon to pink and even corals. Eat an orange, a grapefruit, etc., whatever kind of comes to your mind. And you also might make a lot of discoveries today. Your thinking might need some fine tuning, to break through to the gold. It's time to actually remember that you are your own authentic treasure. The insight that you get from saying yes to the adventure is actually going to be escalated. When we say yes to something, it's like shedding the fear, especially if it makes us kind of feel the fear inside of us. We get that funky, shaky feeling. So it's our peace and our sensuality or sexuality that's actually also online today. Sorry, I just saw Bastide hiking over the grid. It's hilarious. Bastide is my Egyptian queen cat. So that was funny. But the seed sound for today is VOM. It's actually VOOM. It's the O as in rule. I put this in the notes. So you could chant that to get, you want to do it at least 4 times to really get the vibration moving, the flowing. So I'd probably be chanting that while I'm putting together my vision board to bring in, the emotional frequencies for what it is that I want to manifest, what I want to create. Or at least, do it while you're visualizing the world, the one that you want to create in your future reality, the one that you actually want to be living in. So, I could go for that. The angelic beings for today, I actually only had 2 come in. Chamuel, he who sees God, or what God sees. So God always sees the light in us. And sometimes we have a hard time seeing our own inner light. So this is a great archangel to call that in. He heralds in peace on earth. It reminds me of Christmas. There's a Christmas song, I think, Peace on Earth. But if you don't know what you want, he's the one you want to ask to lead you to what will actually bring you in lasting peace, that authentic peace. So whatever will bring you peace, it could be an amazing career, a new job, a lucky break, more money, new friends, elevated friends, a romantic partner, anything that brings you into a state of peace authentically. So just pay attention to different signs and follow. He's going to send you things. And he also leads us on our own personal treasure hunt. So I thought he went well with the chakra of the day as well, the sacral. And he also answers maintenance calls, which I found curious. So peace really is his authority. He sees everything, everywhere, in all directions, in all space, in all time. He also can help find us things that are lost, like keys, wallets, hopefully money if you've lost some money. Just kidding. Kids, if you have kids and you lose them in the crowd, or even friends for that matter, who sometimes are like kids. You can just call on him and ask. He also assists with global peace, which I find just with some narratives happening this week. I really don't listen to the news, but I see little glimpses of things. So we should actually, I feel, be calling him in on the hour lately. I really sense we might need to invoke him a bit more often. He also eases nervousness or tension. So if you're in a state of chronic worry or anxiety, you can call him in as well for that. If you're new to meditation, you can actually call him in to assist you with that as well, to bring you into your peace channel. So clearing out the cobwebs in the closet so you can just be in sync with yourself. We also have the Illumination of God, Uriel, the light of God, but I like the illuminated one. This angelic being of light kind of reminds me of Yoda or some kind of light walker being of love. He's the eureka, aha kind of moment today. So if you're actually having trouble with getting out of the blue insights, I would call on Uriel. It would be as if you get this lightning pulse of unseen insight. Literally like when lightning strikes, you kind of have an idea where it's going to come, but you don't actually know when it's going to hit. So he also increases our intellectual capacities. And I think just higher intel, like intelligence, really along with claircognizance. So he just opens us up to the stars and he clears our mind of our brain fog. So if you're ever in a bind or sticky situation, I would call him in for that. So our cards of the day, I actually had some fun with this. Whoopsie, wrong button. There we go. Nope, wrong button. Here we are. I actually went with 2 different decks. It truly is really a divination kind of day because I'm doing my cowrie shells for the weekend roll after this as well. So if you have forces of adversity that are creating you some chaos, disrupting your field, you might be called for a cowrie shell divination, which, it's actually pretty amusing in a way how these little shells tell a story. But today's cards are brought to us by the Cosmic Consciousness deck of Ascension, and I also am utilizing the Threads of Fate. So we have confidence here, and who doesn't need confidence actually, right? This is actually the Lyra awareness. You can see that on the bottom of the card. So the lessons that are more of Lyran energy, what the Lyrans have to offer, is more of this deep seed of awareness that connects the physical to the pure potentiality. So again, it's like the higher out-of-body energetic centers coming through the crown, through our beingness, into the physical and into the earth plane. So when we become aware or more conscious, we begin actually to change more rapidly. We're in like our own transformation station, or even more consciously, whatever that looks like. So it might seem like we can resist or kind of stay the same, but the change is actually initiated. It's already happening. And the next step in the process, because we're in process, here is where growth or decay occurs, depending on the flow with our own personal experience in duality. So this particular suit of cards actually deepens our understanding. where the mental body kind of linearizes what our heart wants. It becomes too logical. We need to be in that creative aspect. And the Lyrans actually assist in supporting our balance to actually transform this duality as we naturally evolve into different universal laws and integrate with more of the physical experience when we embody. I found it kind of curious that when I pick this deck, I mostly pick the Lyrians or the Syrians. I think I've only picked the Palladians once, so that was kind of interesting this morning. So as we embody the shift, this change, this transformation, the change that we're actually initiating has this stronger foundation for us to grow. So confidence is often overlooked as a spiritual attribute because it's a lot of times it's confused with a polarized ego. So our ego assists us to survive and understand our own singular uniqueness in our physical realm. An out of balance ego kind of interacts with the world from an often, more than likely, unconscious perspective of insecurities and fears. So when our ego is balanced, it participates in empowered unity. For me, my ego, my Mars is in Libra, so it's about fairness. It truly is about balance. That's kind of what I'm always seeking in my Mars attribute. And I'm open to that. If it feels shady, I kind of walk away. But the Lyrans actually learn to balance confidence into like an internal empowerment that actually supports the self along with others, creating more healthy interactions. And by doing this, it actually allowed diversity and creativity to actually lead society rather than fear and competition. What happens then is it breeds greed and deception for our ego to actually feel safe. So I feel it's also curious with the world, the collective consciousness energy, like you can feel it's like separation in a way. But this card here, not to go down the rabbit hole, it's here to remind us that we're worthy just as we are, and that confidence is absolutely a wonderful gift. And we're all here to express our own unique dive intuity out into the world, and also just allow other people to do the same. And confidence keeps us open to change because we feel safe from judgment. As we shine our own magical light, our essence, we inspire and we also expand our light. We teach others that they can also, they're worthy and they're also capable, which actually heals humanity on a deeper, more authentic level. The light language in this card, it's actually assisting or calling us to balance into healthy confidence. It empowers us to really shine our unique light, be your light, be your authentic light, be your brilliance. That's one of, in my cowrie shells, there's actually an aspect that represents our brilliance, our light. And shine that light out into the world and the growth of others as well. And be proud, actually, of who you are in this moment. Be in joy of that feeling. And also, supporting others that might be feeling unworthy. Release the need for perfection. That's kind of a hard thing, right? We have an idea of perfection, or other people project their perfection onto us, which is hilarious in reality, for me anyway. So even examining your feelings of unworthiness, and go ahead and create some positive affirmations actually to heal yourself. Not to worry there though, because I have a few affirmations after the Threads of Fate card, which is I'm kind of excited about as well. There I am. So the Seeker of Wands. So again, wands are fire, they're inspiration, they're creativity. It's this raw, wild passion, energy. It's excitement, right? So this is great since honestly, we're actually at the end degrees of the season of Leo. We're having this another magical full moon at those end degrees. So it lines up with the Leo of season, or the Leo season, I feel. So the Seeker of Wands is actually charisma, it's courage, it's opportunity. So it really is like opening the door to a future that we want to actually manifest, the one that we want to live in with our light. So it's highly energetic. It's this creativity that we all have, this person, which we all are, who's actually been gifted with wonderful ideas and passion and vision. Can you imagine wearing that hat with all those little tendrils of light? How cool is that? There's even a message on the hat in the window. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of sitting on the hat. But where the Seeker of Wand actually struggles is with the follow through. So not so good at maybe showing up the day in and the day out to tend to their visions. You have to nurture that garden, which means, we quickly move into the next idea. Maybe they have some self-doubt, or they might not just understand what it's like to be consistent, to follow through. For me, that's integrity. It's a huge thing for me. But they might feel like they're trapped in a way. So if they stick to the one thing. So this card, it's an invitation for courageousness, which is actually another energy of the metal or the mineral. So it's just amazing how when I pull these cards, they all flow and fit in. But it's asking us to acknowledge our fears of failure, success, or being constrained, like held back, and then actually move forward through it. It's like, poof, you just pop through. So the discomfort that you might be feeling when you commit is important for our development. But the commitment has to be this loving action for ourselves. So take yourself seriously enough to actually move forward, be authentic. It can also be helpful to break things up into smaller things, baby steps that you can literally show up for every day in the now. One thing that can actually prevent us from making progress is focusing on the hardest things first, preventing us from literally showing up for the easy to accomplish things. So do the jobs, do the things that seem fine, and allow your confidence to actually build up until you feel ready for the bigger things, the big and the bigger. So it's amazing, seriously, how Spirit just shows me the cards to grab every day. It's just magical how this all flows in. So some affirmations. My confidence supports my growth. For myself, I'm creating my dream life today. My future, what does that dream look like? Being in the dream state. And I'm grateful for the manifestation I'm about to actually receive. And since I actually pulled the confidence card, which is hilarious, I am committed to feeling confident. More importantly, I'm committed to also feeling abundant with my own confidence. Something else you can do, I've been doing this probably every day when it pops in. It's like on your in-breath, you want to like breathe in abundance just in your mind's eye. Breathe in abundance, and on the exhale, detach from the outcome. That's kind of what you're saying on the exhale. So with all of that, InShalla and Ashe, thanks for joining me today, and make it a blessed day.